Great phrasing!
Hey, Topher here with Geek Public Radio, and yes, we are in the middle of PopCon, and we just had to stop and these awesome costumes. Tell everybody at home a little bit about your costume.
This is Mary Poppins, and I'm Bert the Chimney Sweep. And we came to just walk around and have some fun.
You guys go to a lot of cons, or is this, your first, or?
This is our second one. We went to Comic-Con, the Indy PopCon, back in May.
So is this your first PopCon? So what do you guys think of PopCon?
It's really fun. I enjoy it.
It is a lot of fun.
Well, check out all the other stuff walking around. There's tons of people in costume, and you'll probably get to see these guys walking around as well. Hey, careful what you'll find at the con. How many cons have you been to?
Well, I've been cosplaying for 3 years, so I don't keep track of how many cons I've been to. I might start crying in terms of all the money I spent at these cons. So it's been cosplaying for 3 years.
Have you been to PopCon before?
No, I haven't. This is my first time at PopCon.
So what do you think? I mean,
it's good. I like it. It's not too bad. What I like about it is every con has something different to offer, and this one also has its differences than everybody else. In order to complete this interview, we have to take off the hat. We'll put on the shirt. There we go.
All right, that's better.
That's right. Everybody watching, look at this. Boom. Nails it. All right.
So you've been cosplaying for 3 years. What do you have? Any suggestions for those who are wanting to get into it?
Well, anybody who wants to cosplay, don't be embarrassed. Number one, choose what you want to do, and then go from there. Sometimes some cosplays are harder to build. Sometimes some are easy. But just be happy with your choice. Don't pick something you don't want to do. Do it because you want to do it, and it doesn't matter what anybody else tells you.
Great words. Hey, we're here, still rocking out in the vendor hall at PopCon, and you never guess who you run into while you're at these things. Say hi, everybody.
What's up, Bert? Hello.
But there's tons and tons and tons of costumes that are going on, or that are walking all over the place. You got to check it out. That's the great thing I love about cons is you can't throw a stick without hitting somebody. So. We're hanging out at PopCon right here, and another Peter Quill walks by. So, how many cons have you done, or do you do?
I just started cosplaying about 2 years ago. I have a friend who's been into cosplay for about 10 years, and I grew up as many cosplayers did as a socially awkward kid, and so he's like, if you want to get out of the house and stop playing video games all day, you should come to a convention. So I'm from Chicago. I went to C2E2 2014, and I fell in love with it right away. It was actually a motivator. I was a pretty heavy set guy, and I wanted to fit into spandex to do superheroes. So I lost 70 pounds to do it, and
well, that's a motivation.
Yeah, exactly. That was I couldn't find motivation in girls or anything else, but damn it, to fit into Superman, I was gonna lose that weight. So. It's improved my life. I've gained so many friends. I got my health back. And because of that, I go to probably during the summer, I'd say 1 or 2 conventions a month. During the winter, it kind of shuts down a bit in the Midwest. But when I'm in the summer, I'm always at an event, or we do a lot of charity events. We do a lot of superhero charity events around Chicago. I do Star-Lord, Superman, some other ones for kids, and that's great to get out there and talk with the kids. And they see them light up. Like, it's one thing when you're at a con and an adult comes up to you, but when a kid comes up and hugs you and it's like, Star-Lord, I love you. You can't buy that kind of emotion. It's amazing.
So what do you think of PopCon?
It's my first year here. We made the trip down from Chicago yesterday. Not as big as some other conventions, but it's nice because I get to catch up with people. There's a lot more close-knit connection going on. You know, when you get some of the bigger conventions like Wizard World or C2E2, you know, there's so many things to see, so many people to see. I've gone entire weekends where I didn't even see one of my friends because, you know, there's so much to do. So I've already caught up with everybody, and it's only Saturday. So I think I'll probably come back next year.
You thought about Gen Con? Bringing, since they do a lot of costume shows and have a contest and all that stuff, you gonna come try to do that one?
I've never been, but I've got friends that go, and they've told me like you got to try and make it to Gen Con one year. Like I said, I've only been doing it a couple years now, so this is my first Indy Pop Con. I was down here for Indy Comic Con a couple months ago. I'm gonna try and make Gen Con. I'm going to Dragon Con actually. I got a hotel room, and it's just a couple weeks before Dragon Con, so I'm gonna have to see if I can swing it. Like I'd like to. Plan is that I'm going to. We'll see how finances and everything works out.
One last thing. What would you tell those who want to get into cosplaying and want to come out and do this stuff? Any suggestions for them?
I find that the biggest fear whenever I talk to my non-cosplay friends is they don't want to be made fun of. Is they're awkward about their body. They think they're too fat. They think they're too skinny. They think they're too short. Just go for it. Let's go for it. My very first costume, I was the chubbiest Superman, and then I was the chubbiest Doctor Strange, but it inspired me. I went for it anyways. Anybody can cosplay. Black, white, Asian, fat, short, doesn't matter. Do the character you love. Just go for it.
Hey, you heard it right here. Check us out. It's been a long trip through PopCon. Grabbed another cosplayer. How long have you been coming to cons and doing all this stuff?
I've been coming to cons for about 3 years now. I've been semi-professionally cosplaying for the past 2. It's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of awesome, really unique people out here. As you can see behind me, we got a little princess. But yeah, it's a great time. It's a lot of fun and a very easy way for people to go out and make new friends.
Is this your first PopCon, or how many PopCons have you?
This is my first PopCon. I did some Wizard Worlds and some different Comic Cons here and there, but this is my first PopCon.
So what do you think of the show? I mean, that's for your first year.
Actually, I'm very shocked. I didn't think it would be as big as it is, and then I got here, and it's a lot bigger than I expected.
Any suggestions you have for those who are wanting to start coming to conventions and cosplaying and dressing up? And
if you're going to come to a convention, I highly recommend cosplaying. Well, not your first day though, because your first day you kind of want to like scope out the area. You want to find out like what booth is what. But if you don't want pictures of you, don't cosplay. But if you do want to meet new people, have a lot of fun, have a lot of new people come up to you and get to know more people, definitely cosplay because you can make friends in an instant. It's an awesome time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Again, we're here at PopCon in the vendor hall and having a great time looking at all the costumes that are going around. Hey guys, how did you come up with the costume?
Costume? Well, of course, as you can tell, I'm Big Boss or Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5. Huge Metal Gear Solid fan. Definitely, I got people always telling me, hey, you look like Snake, you should definitely do it. So I've been actually doing variations of Snake throughout the year. Costume, well, considering I'm actually from Kentucky, near Fort Knox, it's easy to get a lot of the surplus stuff. A lot of it I did order. Of course, the arm that I actually put together myself, so to speak. So it's a lot of purchases here and there, but also a lot of handiwork to get it together. So
I'm a huge fan of Bee and Puppy Cat, and this is actually my first cosplay, so I wanted something easy to do and wasn't too difficult, and I just kind of went around looking for stuff, and the only thing I had to really come up with is I had to iron on this bee onto my sweater, and that was it, and it's pretty simple.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
How many cons have you guys gone to?
He's been to way more than me.
yeah, my first convention, no joke, was actually in Indianapolis. There's an anime convention called CCon back in 2002. That was my first experience. I was still in high school, so you could tell how old I am now. But yeah, ever since then, I've been going all over the place. I've been to Otakon in Baltimore, MagFest, up, down, you name it, I've been there. So
My first convention was with him, and we came here last year. It was great, and I went to MagFest earlier this year with him, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
yeah, definitely.
Any suggestions you have for people who want to start cosplaying and coming to conventions and having a good time?
First thing I got to say about that is don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. You're amongst all these people who are dressed up. So whatever you like to do, whatever your love, your passion is, go for it. You can do it no matter what. No one here should judge you on that. So definitely I recommend whatever you love, go for it. Take the time to do it. Trust me, it's a blast walking through here and having people call you out by that character. But hey, Snake, I gotta get a photo with you. It's a huge honor. Definitely, huge honor.
Yeah, totally. I was always shy by nature, and he kind of was like, you should do it. And really, there's so many people dressed up and doing what they love, and people just like, oh, hey, B, and it's just like nobody's gonna be like, oh, look at nothing. So it's great. It's really great.
I mean, you guys came over to a fat guy in a kilt. I mean, come on.
Hey, it's great, yeah.
But awesome stuff. Hang out in a con. You meet a whole bunch of really, really great people. And I think that wraps us up for our con this year. So see you next year. Check us out at Gen Con. Check us out at all the other events that we're going to be live at. And we'll see you next year.